What's up, everybody? As you might already know, I passed the FTMO challenge a total of 8 times now. My most recent pass was on August 4th, which was a couple of weeks ago. I've become an expert at passing these prop firm challenges by now, but that was not always the case. In the beginning, I failed quite a few challenges. After making a couple of changes, I now am able to pretty much pass the challenges in my sleep. So here are the 4 things that are causing you to fail the FTMO challenge. Number 1 is over-risking. Right now, I have just about 3 years of trading experience. When I first started out, I would risk up to 50% of my account on trades. Looking back on that now, I see how ridiculous that was. I do remember when I was learning in the beginning, I saw an article, I think on Investopedia or one of those sites. It said something like, you should only risk a maximum of 1% of your account on trades. And I was like, 1%, that's just way too low. You can't make any money like that. By this time, I had went from 50% risk on my trades to around 20% risk. A couple months later, I was using 10% risk, and then I went down to 8%. A couple months after that, I was down to 4%. In May of this year is when I started using 2% risk, and now, lo and behold, I'm using 1% risk on my trades, just like the article said to do. I had to realize that other traders have already gone through this process, and they know what they're talking about. Well, some of them at least. Using 1% risk and a compounding or a pyramiding strategy will still get you huge gains, and the risk of ever blowing up your account is pretty much zero. I've shown my compounding strategies here on my channel a couple of times. As long as you can maintain a high win rate, this is always the better way to go versus regular trading. It takes experience in the market to be able to get win streaks. Now that I figured out how everything works, I'm able to maintain around an 80% win rate pretty consistently. I know how hard it is to follow the rules. You'll see that perfect setup and you'll want to put all your chips in to make a quick, huge profit. With such high probability patterns, it will actually work a lot of the time. But that one time where you over risk on a trade and it fails, you could end up losing 20%, 30%, 50% of your account all at once, and it is a terrible, painful feeling when that happens. Keep yourself disciplined and just follow the plan. If you do, you'll make profits and you won't have to suffer through any huge losses. Of course, we all want that maximum funding $400,000 account with FTMO or any of these other prop firms as quickly as possible. You might be working some job that you absolutely hate. Trust me, I've been there. And you want to get out of that situation. Maybe you have some huge bill coming up that you don't have the money to pay for. Whatever the case may be, whatever you might need the money for, none of this actually matters. The market presents opportunities when it is ready. Your personal life has no effect on what's going on in the Forex world. You have to trade properly no matter what. I've completed almost all of these challenges in under the 10-day minimum. With my 1% risk strategy, I can usually get the challenge done in around 6 or 7 days. I try to take 4 or 5 trades per day. I've noticed you can usually get 1 or 2 good trade opportunities at the beginning of the session and another 1 or 2 about halfway through the session. So keep this in mind. Don't try to go for 10 trades to try to speed things up. Most likely you'll just end up losing money. Keep a realistic view of how this works and be reasonable with your expectations. Even if it does take you 10 days or even 20 days to finish the challenge, you just got thousands of dollars in trading capital in less than a month. Think about how great that is. Just stay calm and trade like a professional. Number 3 is not taking trading seriously. I've seen thousands of perfect trade setups by now. There are multiple trade opportunities happening every single day. There are actually so many that it sometimes will cause people to get reckless. You'll start trading when patterns aren't even there. You'll start getting sloppy with your trading. If you start to break your trading plan rules, things can fall to the wayside very quickly. Always take your trading very seriously. This is a business that you're running. Like any other business, you need to be bringing in more money than you're losing to stay ahead. You have max daily loss limits, risk percentage limits, a max amount of trades, rules for entering into trades. You have all this in place to keep everything moving forward. We've all had those days where we didn't follow the plan and lost a ton of money. FTMO in particular allows a 50% max daily loss. Now this is good for us because using a compound strategy, sometimes you will get close to that number, but just losing a raw 50% in a day, using capital that you haven't already made is almost a death sentence for your account. It is very difficult to come back from such a huge loss. The only way you should lose big is on your third compound trade using my formula that is a 16% risk. But this is money that you already made. At worst, if you lose the trade, you would just go back to zero. Always keep professionalism in mind when trading. This is very serious stuff that we're doing here. And for number 4, we have using market orders instead of stop orders. I can't tell you how many trades I've lost because of this. Basically, if you see a huge bar starting to form, it can be really tempting to enter into the trade immediately. This is actually the incorrect way to do that. It's much better for your win rate to simply wait for the entire bar to form and then wait to see what happens on the next bar. A huge sudden momentum swing in one direction can cause a huge sell-off, and price can immediately reverse on you. If you get a consolidation bar after a big engulfing bar, you can set a buy order above it. In the case that the price does continue upward, you'll automatically be entered into the trade, and if it does reverse, you'll never have been entered into the trade in the first place. You can exponentially increase your win rate with just this one change alone. There are plenty of situations where a market order is the correct move, but using a stop order will almost always be better. Keep in mind, you need to be thinking a couple hours into the future when taking your trades. You want moves that will potentially go 3 reward or more, even if you decide to take less than that. You want the momentum to be heavily in your favor on every trade that you take. I actually already made a video about this, so I'll put that up in the top bar so you can go and check that one out too. So there it is. Those are the 4 things that are causing you to fail the FTMO challenge. If you can make these changes, I guarantee you will see much more success. Again, I always say trading does take around 3 years of heavy study in order to be able to do it profitably. So if you're in year 1 or year 2, keep trading and keep studying the market every day. You will eventually come to an understanding of how everything works with enough practice. Make sure to hit the like button if you like the content and subscribe to the channel for more Forex trading and investing videos. Remember to always trade responsibly, and I'll see you guys later.